What is up, y'all? It is Friday night, and we are talking Dynasty Fantasy Football. Good to have you here. We got some people in the comments already. Mystic Flame says, yo, Domain. Leave a like, everyone. This channel deserves a thanks, Mystic Flame. We appreciate you, man. And also, yes, please do drop a like. And let's go ahead and answer a question here from Mystic Flame. 12-team Superflex Star 11. I'm going to answer this because it was on like 2 hours before we started.
Dang,
so,
okay.
Give Hurts, and you get A-Rich, the 105, and the 111. I would take the A-Rich side there. Good contender, third place. QB's Hurts, Kyler. Yeah, no, I think I'm taking the A-Rich and 2 firsts over Hurts, aren't you? Especially given those is one.
A-Rich and 2 firsts, yeah.
Because one of them is the 105.
Heck yeah.
If it were the 110 and 111, it'd be like, okay, but the 105, yeah.
Yep.
So kicked it off with a little bit of a trade here. Today we're going to go through and do some team blueprints. I will tell you how to get a team blueprint here in just a minute. But we are going to start with Smithers, by the way, so if you want to go ahead and pull that up, I'll let you do the first one.
Ah, yes.
We're going to do these team blueprints. Again, if you want to join us on flockfantasy.com/domain, that's how you can get those. We'll leave some more information in the comments section. But appreciate y'all being here. Drop your comments, drop your questions, drop your Dynasty topics in the comments. We typically can't answer every single comment, but we're going to answer as many as we can, and we definitely answer all Super Chats. In fact, we skipped Super Chats because we appreciate you guys supporting us, but we're going to answer as many comments and questions as we can. So like I said, let's get in the comment section. Let's hang out tonight. Let's have a good time, and let's talk some Dynasty. It's officially Dynasty season.
SZN.
And I'm very excited. I honestly,
we're so excited. We just got in a ridiculous debate for like the last 30 minutes.
It's the story.
It's
the story of our friendship. We were debating.
We're too competitive.
We are competitive. So
over the dumbest stuff.
You got the first one up, buddy?
Yep. Smithers.
All right, here we go. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah. So Smithers has got a Superflex League start 10, I believe, or is it 11? I think it's 11. I've got you at wide receiver factory as your team archetype. You've got some very, very good wide receiver assets in Michael Pittman, Devonta Smith, Deebo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Marquise Brown. Just a lot of really good depth. Not the craziest high-end guys at the moment, but enough wide receivers in your wide receiver room that I'm super comfortable with the assets you have there. I mean, heck, I could have gone with elite tight end as well. You've got Hawkinson and Travis Kelce. So that's going to be a really, really smooth transition as Travis Kelce probably starts to decline over the next couple of years in the NFL from a fantasy production perspective. You're going to be chilling with TJ Hawkinson for the next 7 years. So absolutely love that there. You're really struggling at quarterback, though. Russell Wilson and Baker Mayfield are your best guys, and your running backs aren't too great. You do have some valuable assets with like Isaiah Pacheco and Montgomery that do carry weight in trades, even James Conner and Mostert. But overall, we're looking at your picks. You don't have very many picks. You do have a lot of aging assets in Kelce, Diggs, Mostert, Connor, your running backs, your quarterbacks, not very many QBs at all. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you trade Montgomery and James Conner. Just get as many running backs off your roster as you can as we approach really this soft rebuild. I have you rebuilding for the next couple of years, kind of your second year being a little bit of a transition year from rebuilding to contending because you don't have very many draft picks in the future. But honestly, I could see you, if you make the right moves this offseason, kind of recovering quickly. And if you're going to get rid of Dave Montgomery and James Conner, let's get some developmental wide receivers. This is going to be a trend that I want you to follow really offseason. You're going to want to prioritize wide receiver. You're a wide receiver factory, and you need to prioritize quarterback. Let's go get an elite level quarterback at a discount. Kyler Murray. I cannot tell you how many times I have put Kyler Murray in people's blueprints who are in desperate need of a quarterback. He is one of the few contract insulated quarterbacks who has high quarterback one upside that is not going in the first round of dynasty startups right now. He is very affordable, very reasonable, and I think it's because people are scared that Arizona is going to draft a QB, which I just don't realistically see. Let's get rid of Raheem Mostert and Tyler Lockett. Let's target guys like Tank Dell, Drake London, Jaden Reed as the wide receivers that I want you to get overall. If you're trading away Travis Kelce and Jake Ferguson, a lot of people are high on Jake Ferguson. You've got him on your bench right now. There's no need for you to have him, regardless of your opinion. You have TJ Hawkinson, you're never starting Jake Ferguson. So your draft capital grade, again, like I said earlier, not great. You got the 305 and the 408 this year. I do think you have your future picks in 25, but I'm going to tell you to prioritize QB. accumulating QB value as much as possible. That doesn't mean you have to pay a king's ransom for a quarterback going in the first round. You can buy a Jared Goff. He's a very safe asset for the foreseeable future. That's very affordable right now when you don't have a ton of value at the quarterback position. Let's get off as many contending assets as you can to get ahead on that rebuild road. So this can be as quick of a rebuild as possible and efficient. And wide receivers in contract years are going to be your best friends. Those value targets where they're going to maintain their value or increase in value given a nice landing spot once they sign a long-term deal elsewhere. I'm thinking T. Higgins, Marquise Brown, those kinds of guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Smithers, my dude, we appreciate you. Love having you over there, and thanks for joining the flock. Again, if you guys want to join the Domain community and get all of our exclusives, you can get into our exclusive Dynasty Leagues. We're opening some new Dynasty Leagues for our listeners right now. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to play in the leagues as well. So if you want to get in really solid Dynasty Leagues and get a team blueprint, flockfantasy.com/domain. Use code domain, choose a mother tier. Link is down below. It's also in the comments. Let's go and answer some comments here from our viewers. Let's go. NK1, Best Dynasty Channel. NK1, we appreciate you, man. Let's go. Let's go to Alex here. Alex says he owns the 101 and the 103 through the 107. So everything but the 102. Wow. You got Stroud, AR, Wilson, Pickens, Rice, QJ, Spears, Kincaid. And the trades you're looking at, Rice or Pickens, plus the 106 for Devonta Smith, the 107. Okay, so that's just Rice or Pickens plus the 106 for Devonta Smith. I would honestly take the 106 side there. So I would keep the 106.
I'll be honest. I'd take the 106 straight up over Devonta Smith right now just from a value perspective. Because
you're going to get one of those top 7 guys there.
Yeah.
The top 7 guys in this year's class: Caleb Williams, Drake May. That is not in an order. Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, Brock Bowers.
That's 7
That's 7 guys right there.
That you know are probably going to maintain their value from here until the draft.
In my opinion, 7 elite prospects. So I think if you have anywhere from the 101 to the 107, you're good. And you have every... So with you having early picks here, you have a lot of them. Normally we'd say, sell half, keep half. This year, if you have everything at the 107 and above, I would actually almost be inclined to keep your picks. You're not going to...
The 103 through the 107, my goodness.
I mean, wouldn't you, if he had the 111, the 109...
Actually, the one pick I would tell you to look and trade out of is the 101.
Because you just get who falls?
Because you just get who falls at the 103. That's going to be one big fat tier probably anyways.
And you can probably get a haul for the 101.
Right. You'll get a haul. You'll get a proven asset. Don't trade it now. If anything, if you're going to do it anytime, do it after the NFL Combine at the absolute earliest. But there's a lot of people asking me right now, should I trade this pick or the 101 or trade up or whatever right now? And here's the deal. And I'm like, no. I barely even look at it. I'm like, just no. Don't do the deal in January.
107 or Kyron Williams?
I'd probably go Kyron Williams
I would too there. So
because he's one of the few running backs in the NFL right now that has a guaranteed situation, not just a guaranteed team, but a guaranteed situation for the next 2 to 3 years at least.
What about the 103 and the 106 for Joe Burrow?
Burrow. I'd take Burrow. Easy.
So that would be like Jaden Daniels and the 106 for Burrow. I actually don't think it's far off.
No, I'm taking Burrow.
But I think you have to get to the edge of the Burrow side there.
I think any asset at the 103 is going to go no earlier than mid to early second round of startups, and then the 106 is way down there. So if you're trading up into the mid first, like when you're talking startup value, I think it's Burrow.
Yeah, so he also said he has a plans to take Marvin Harrison Jr. at the 101 and maybe Neighbors or Bowers at the 104, 105. Yeah. You just have to take the value. Let's see how it plays out. But
this will be the offseason, in my opinion, of
he also has
Burrow.
325 first. You're going to be winning that league every year after this. I mean, I would flip and contend this year if I were you. Andy Quinn says, let's go. Know where I'd rather be. Anna, we love you. Kyle says, oh, heck yeah, I'm so early. So this must have been a while ago. Very curious what your take is in Jalen Hurts with possible offensive coordinator change coming. It's not going to hurt. Pun intended.
It's definitely not going to hurt.
Not going to hurt. It's not going to get worse. And even
it'll probably hurt better.
Even Jalen Hurts
so good.
Are you done?
Yeah, I just thought it was funny.
Even this year with his offensive coordinator, he was still the quarterback 2 in fantasy,
and he was not good.
And he wasn't good.
Not
so
good.
from a fantasy perspective, not much is going to change because he was the elite even in their down year. So that's kind of my thoughts. Just traded the 101 for the 106, 108, 109, and 113. Must be a 14-team league. Any thoughts?
Without Kelsey, I don't know if they're going to have that tush push anymore.
Yeah,
Side note.
Kelsey kind of.
I mean, how many touchdowns did the tush push get Hurts?
10 or 12, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I still think he's going to be, but traded the 101 for 106, 108, 109, 113. It's risky, but it could pay off. You're going to have to. So this trade is going to be decided on how well you hit in the 108, 109, 113 range, because they're a lot less of a sure thing. The 106, I'm confident you'll get somebody good there. But the other, if one of those hits, do you win? I don't know if you do.
The 108, 109, and 113, historically speaking, is one big fat tier of 50-50 hit rates.
Yes.
So
it does.
I don't really view any of those picks differently. So I'm
two
really
of them
looking
need to
at
hit for me.
I'm really looking at you're trading back in that elite tier. You're still within that elite tier at the 106, and then you're getting 3 50-50 shots.
Yeah. I think you need to hit on 2 of the 3 of the last 3 picks there of the 108, 109, 113. 2 of those have to hit, and the 106 for that to have been worth it, in my opinion. Because I think the 101's going to hit. But that's just me. Waffle Hauser says, let's get these boys to 10K. And dang, that's a haul. 113 must mean your league is big, though. Yeah, it does mean it's a big league. So, all right, let's go to our second blueprint today. And this is going to be from our guy, Bread K17. And Bread, we appreciate you, man. Sent you your blueprint today. We appreciate you being a part of the domain community, being a part of our exclusive community, and I've loved interacting with you over there and having you over there, my friend. Let's go ahead and take a look at your team blueprint, starting with your league size. This is a Superflex league, Superflex Dynasty league, just like our leagues. 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 flex. Love this league setting. It does say there's a kicker, which I don't like, but the one of the flex spots is also only running back or wide receiver, so no tight end. That doesn't make a big difference because you're not flexing tight ends. And then 5-point passing touchdown. All right, you've got a dual elite QB roster here. That's kind of what your build represents. You've got Josh Allen up at the top, and you've got Kyler Murray at the bottom. We love dual elite QB builds because it's going to insulate your value long-term for your dynasty team. So when you're building dynasty teams, I mean, if you are really building for the future, dual elite QB is my #1 choice for a team build. I like it here. I like it on every single blueprint I've done with dual elite QB. Your running backs, nothing here pretty much at all. You've got Robinson and Tyler Algier. And wow, I just realized that was put in as a 1, which I probably wouldn't have said 1.
In a 12 team, that's definitely.
But Brian Robinson was decent this year. I probably would have given him a 3.
Okay.
I mean,
in a 12 team.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at
great.
If you're looking at 12 teams, sorry, I'm not trying to dog on this roster, but if you're looking at 12 teams and Brian Robinson is the best running back on that roster, that's probably one of the bottom 2 to 3
I feel
teams.
I feel like it could be worse, but I always think it could be worse. Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson.
Well, worse would be 0.
Well, it's true.
That would be if there were no running backs on the roster.
Either that or having
give it 2.
Yeah, either that or having Justin Herbert and Kirk Cousins, Smith as your quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, JSN, Quentin Johnson, Dontavian Wicks at your wide receiver position. I mean, that's what?
Sorry,
that's
just processed.
Yeah, I figured it took a while. That you get a 9 out of 10 in your wide receivers, man. It's pretty good. And then your tight end, you get a 2 there because you got Kate Otten. He's pretty much your only tight end. You've got Dulcich, but he hasn't done anything yet. So your depth score is going to be a 3 out of 10. Obviously, we don't need depth on a rebuild, and that's exactly what we are. In year 1 for this roster, you're going to be a rebuild. We want you to be accumulating value-insulated assets that are going to increase in value, and then getting ready to contend next year because you do have the assets to contend next year. Cornerstone assets are going to be the 2 QBs like we talked about, Amon-Ra and JSN, and Garrett Wilson should be in there as well. Here's our look to trades for this roster. Garrett Wilson, we're going to say, we're going to trade Garrett Wilson. We're going to down tier probably to somebody with a safe situation and or rookie picks. We've got Puka Nacua on here as a target. We like Puka Nacua as a trade target for Garrett Wilson trades right now. And also Brian Robinson and Tyler Algier, you're going to go for an elite tight end. We have Mark Andrews as a good target. I got Mark Andrews in the 6th round of a Dynasty startup recently, so I really like him as a target right now in Dynasty leagues. And then the rookie 110 that you have, we're going to trade it for a proven asset like Jaden Reed, Tyjae Spears, or trade back in the draft. Your draft capital grade is fantastic because you've got the 101, the 103, the 110, the 203, and an extra 25 first. You are clearly building towards the future here, and I love it. I think you've invested in all the right. I think you should have a 1 and a 2 at running back and tight end on this type of roster.
Yep.
You're doing it right.
Your future outlook is perfect. That's why we're not concerned about your running back look.
If you're
right
rebuilding a dynasty team, this blueprint, take a look at the positional grades in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, and I want you to look at the positional grades. That's how your positional grade should look on a hard rebuild like this.
Yep.
QB, elite. Wide receiver, elite. Running back and tight end, don't care.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to rebuild the dynasty team.
Running back is the last position you should prioritize. Like tight end, lock down an elite tight end and don't have any other tight end on your roster after that.
Yeah. And then contending rebuild scale, you've got great rookie picks, young wide receivers. You are in the middle, though, because I would probably put this more towards rebuild.
Well, honestly. Think about he's got the 101 and the 103. Think about how much there's.
Well, he's going to contend sooner than we think.
Those are second-round startup valuable picks. So if he were to theoretically flip those, he could technically contend this year because he'd get to elite level running backs.
I would put him more towards rebuild right now, but I think you easily could get towards contend. I think because you've got so much value to play with. And guys, this is a great example of using value to have flexibility to build your team however you want it to, and also to be the best team in the league. This team will be the best team in the league here in a couple of years. Brett, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for being a part of the flock. Guys, if you want your team blueprint outlined like this for your dynasty team, you see it right here, and also get one of our listener leagues, get all of our exclusive stuff, flockfantasy.com/domain. Use code domain, choose a mother flocker tier, and you get a team blueprint. You get in our leagues, you get our rankings, you get articles, you get to interact with us on a day-to-day basis, and honestly, we love having people over there. We have a lot of fun. Link is in the comments pinned, and it's also down in the description if you want to join us. We really love to have you over there. Love to get started looking at your team and doing a blueprint for you here soon. But let's go and answer some more questions from our boys over here. Let's look at Jake. Jake says 10 teams, start 10 dynasty. I'm not missing any super chats, right?
Nope, I just checked.
Good. 10 teams, start 10 dynasty PPR. You're switching to Superflex after 2024, okay? Traded away Olave and the 102 for Chase. Woo!
So in what is currently the 102, that's currently Malik Neighbors in a non-Superflex league that's transitioning to Superflex. So actually, so
if it's transitioning, then you might be taking Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams there.
The question is overpay for Chase. You've got CJ, Lamar, JJ, and Chase as your core. You've got a great core. I like having rookie picks right now. I think Olave is a buy low. In my opinion, this is an overpay for Jamar Chase.
I think this is an overpay, and I think the thought process here was I have C.J. Stroud and I have Lamar Jackson. I don't need another quarterback. And let me tell you, if you have the 101 or the 102 or the 103 and you know that you're going to end up having to take the best value with C.J. or with Caleb Williams or Drake May or Jaden Daniels, whoever's supposed to go there, it doesn't matter what your quarterbacks are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have 3 elite quarterbacks, you take the value and you get them off your roster later for what they're worth.
I think there's a good argument to be made even to take Neighbors and Olave over Chase. That combination of guys. Neighbors is legit.
Yeah, I know.
So I think in a year you're going to be like, yeah, that was. So here's the thing, though, Jake. You're not screwed because you got Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
You got Jamar Chase.
You got a lot of value in Chase. The Dynasty community very much values Chase. So if you were to go and even move off Chase, you get a haul. Still get a haul.
Waffle Hauser's growing up, dude. Look at this. I'm not even asking questions today. I just know I gotta wait, be patient, and see what happens at the combine. That's one of ours right there.
That's one of
our domain mother flockers. You want to become wise in the force like Waffle Hauser? There you go. Pastor says, yo, what's up, Hauser? Also, Simon's at school. Simon probably won't be back for videos this semester. His schedule is jam-packed, so he's not going to be able to be on... What'd you say? He's not going to be able to be on videos this semester. We miss him, and we wish he was sitting right here, but he's not. So everybody just say rip Simon in the chat. Shefloss says, yo, guys, what's up, Shefloss? What should I do with Bijan? Nathan, what should he do with Bijan? What have you been doing with Bijan, Nathan?
I have been desperately trying to get Bijan off of almost every roster that I own him in Dynasty because I am terrified that Bill Belichick is going to end up going to the Atlanta Falcons. And I have heard some people think that would be exciting for Bijan Robinson and for them as an offense. I think offensively, there are parts of it that are exciting. Actually, I think Drake London would very much benefit from Bill Belichick going there. Any running back on the Atlanta Falcons, if Bill goes to the Falcons, I will never, ever, 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 ever touch
in
Dynasty fantasy football.
It's a blanket
ever. Oh, it's a blanket statement because it is an actual blanket statement. I am certified.
I would still roster Bijan.
I am certified blanket statementing this right now. I will not draft Bijan Robinson in Dynasty if Bill Belichick goes to the Atlanta Falcons.
I still would draft Bijan. I think Bijan's good enough.
At what price?
Where he's going now.
You think Bill in 2 years is going to pay Bijan Robinson?
I think Bill in 2 years is going to retire. That's part of it.
Okay.
So,
well, anyways, I just traded away Bijan Robinson. And
also,
what
even
will,
if he didn't get re-signed, I would take 2 years of Bijan still at this price. I still would. I think he could still be the running back one.
Okay.
So I like Bijan still.
Cool.
I'm not gonna make blanket statements.
Well, I did there.
I know.
And
see how you
I'm proud of it.
Explicitly said.
I said blanket statement. There you go.
Yeah. Let's go to Crazy Madness. Go ahead.
Well,
Nathan.
no, I was going to say I traded away Bijan Robinson and what will be a late 25 first, and I got Joe Burrow.
There you go.
So I was very happy about that in a super flex
I'm
league.
cool with that trade, honestly. Crazy Madness. Let's go. I'll let you answer these. Go ahead.
Yeah. Crazy Madness says, what would you guys do, or what would you guys be looking to do with Cooper Kupp? Worth keeping one more year or sell? If you're selling him, what are you getting?
Let's look.
That's going to be my biggest question for you. And it's kind of hypothetical. I know it's not that much. No one in Dynasty is going to be paying super. I mean, I don't think anyone is going to be paying a super high second to give you Cooper Kupp because the fall off is here. When you look at the historical data with Cooper Kupp or with guys Cooper Kupp's age and the production that they have at that age, what they do the following year is not good.
You can get Josh Downs.
According to Keep Trade Cut, which I don't trust. If you can go get Josh Downs, sure, do it. I don't think you're gonna. With Cooper Kupp, I think if you own him right now, he's a guy that I'm going to let die on my roster and hope that being tied to Matt Stafford for the next couple of years, since Cooper Kupp is under contract, he's going to have some good games. I do believe in that, and he's going to be very, very flexible, and I'm confident that he could have a nice run as well.
Y'all want to know maybe my biggest buy for
Stephon Diggs?
Yes. That's dang, Nathan.
Give me some.
You nailed it. I haven't even talked to you about that yet.
Stephon.
It's Stephon Diggs, man. Stephon Diggs is going to be amazing again next year. That's famous last words. I think Stephon Diggs will be very productive still. I think people are looking at the last stretch of games for Stephon Diggs and saying, okay, this is the end of his career. I do not think that's true. I think it's unlikely that the Bills draft somebody who will have an immediate impact enough to take away from Stephon Diggs' production next year because the Bills throw the ball a ton, and who else are they going to throw it to?
Whoever they
Khalil
draft
Shakir?
at the end of the first, Dalton Kincaid. A tight end.
It's Diggs.
It's Diggs.
It's Diggs.
Yeah.
Diggs is a huge buy in Dynasty, guys. I'd buy him on every team. I'd buy him on rebuilds.
Now, of course, there's always a risk of Diggs being a head case, and if they lose to the Chiefs, he'll probably delete all of his Bills stuff on social media, and then he'll be a whole drama queen like all offseason, and then he'll come back and play for the Bills because he's getting paid a ridiculous amount of money.
I need to justify that. I said I would trade for Stephon Diggs in a rebuild. I absolutely would. He's a guy that will increase in value from now until the middle of next season, and you want those guys on rebuilds because you can flip him. You will flip Stephon Diggs. I would buy him on a rebuild.
You don't buy him as a rebuild to keep. You buy him as a rebuild to flip.
You'll see a lot of people say that's
called
stupid.
playing the market.
You don't buy an old guy on a rebuild, and those people haven't gotten into
You know what we did as rebuilds this season?
theory of Dynasty.
We got Adam Thielen for cheap. What are you laughing at?
I was laughing at the people who say that you shouldn't.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't laughing at you. You're so insecure.
No, I'm not insecure.
What are you laughing at? As soon as I smiled.
We invested in Adam Thielen this past offseason because he cost us nothing as rebuilds. What were you missing out on if he didn't hit? Lo and behold, he produces like we thought he could in Carolina's offense. Shipped him off for 2 seconds.
Look at you.
Rebuild.
Although you had to really haggle that guy to get that deal done.
And I got it done.
I don't think I think you probably got the best deal out of Adam Thielen of anybody.
Yeah, I would have done it. I would have done it for a second.
Yeah, you easily do it for a second.
And a lot of people did, which was great.
Toronto Dave's here. What's up, Toronto Dave? The roll. Go ahead, Nathan.
The roll says, I traded the 106, 25 first projected mid to late, and Brian Robinson for Garrett Wilson. What are your thoughts? No.
I would have held the picks for now.
So throw away B-Rob.
The roll. He's a toilet paper roll. That's funny.
Yeah. So, Mr. The Roll, I think I would hold. If I were to go back and I was in your shoes and I were to make that deal, I'd be like, wow, that's very tempting. And maybe I would take it because it's Garrett Wilson. He's a second-round startup pick. What I would be asking myself in that deal is, would this be the price for Garrett Wilson in April? And if the answer to that is no, it would cost less to get Garrett Wilson with these picks in April than I would have just waited 3 months.
Yeah.
So think about that, because think about the value accumulation of rookie picks from January to April. Where is Anakin, Women and the Children too?
I don't know. He's not here.
The children
too. Not Annie. All right, Blueprint 3. CFA Gambler. You'll get obscure Star Wars references on this show. If you think we're too nerdy for you, that's all right. I don't blame you. CFA Gambler. It's all you, buddy.
Yeah. So he says. No.
We're doing a blueprint.
Oh.
It's up on the screen in case you get lost.
Oh, well, I can't read that
I'm saying
far
what
away.
we're doing is on the screen.
Oh well, yeah. Okay. I'm looking it up right now. Here we go.
There you go.
So CFA Gambler is in another Superflex league. We love to see it. Another 10-team or 12-team start 10 Superflex league. I've got you at dual elite QB with Dak Prescott, Justin Fields, and Brock Purdy. Do I think Justin Fields is the second elite quarterback? No.
I thought you were going to say he's dual elite QB with Dak Prescott and Justin Fields.
No, that would have
been a growth moment for you.
And he also has the 103. So a lot of value at the quarterback position there, assuming you're going to be able to get a QB at the 103. Yeah. I'm going to have you more on the rebuild side this season, just because your wide receivers are pretty questionable. Like Quentin Johnston, we don't really know. Romeo Doubs, we don't really know. Rashee Rice, we know. Amari Cooper, we got some questions long term. But outside of that, like not a ton of depth at the wide receiver position. Like Jahan Dotson is the best guy that you have on your bench, and we are not huge fans of that situation at the moment. But great depth overall, man. I mean, you've got Purdy on your bench. You've got Roshan, Dameon Pierce. You've got Jahan Dotson. You've got Michael Wilson, Luke Musgrave. In a 12-team, you have a ton of startable, flexible guys that are on your bench. So what I would be looking for as a rebuild is turn that depth score into a 2 or a 3. Like if you can get deals done with that depth where you sell a core guy and you throw in another one to get a better asset, like that's what we want. We want to accumulate top-heavy value in cornerstone assets. So right now, I'm going to recommend that you sell Justin Fields. He is not one of your dual elite QBs.
I will caveat that. Justin Fields is not a hard sell right now.
He's not a hard sell.
So you see what you can get, and if you can't get something at or above market value at the very least, you're not taking it and you're holding Fields.
Yep, completely agree. So that's why I said safer long-term asset. If you are not guaranteeing that you're acquiring a safer long-term asset in exchange for Justin Fields, then I wouldn't really pull the trigger there, because Fields is relatively safe from a value perspective this offseason. Yep, once the season starts in 2024, he is anything but safe. But for the next 6 months, he is.
And the reason that's true is because Fields is going to get a starting job somewhere.
Yeah,
and his value is going to go up.
The community is obsessed with him.
His value will maintain if he stays with the Bears, and it'll go up if he goes somewhere else. Because it's just what happens when players change teams, regardless of situation.
Yes. So. Yep. Jake Ferguson and Dallas Goedert, let's get rid of those guys and get an elite tight end. You can get, I mean, I'm not kidding. If you paired those guys together plus some depth, you can probably go get Mark Andrews because of how low people are on him right now. Jahan Dotson, let's get a safer situation. Let's get a cheaper guy. Let's get like a Demario Douglas plus. Let's also target with your situation. Even though you're a rebuild, I'm not against you going and getting a running back who has contract insulation and Jonathan Taylor, who's still very young, and you know what his situation is going to be for the next 2 to 3 years. He's one of the few running backs that has that on his resume right now, so I'm very comfortable with him as a rebuild. Drake London, let's go get him as well. I mean, we just talked about Bill potentially going to the Falcons. I would love that for Drake London.
Drake will.
Super excited about that potential situation. So overall, your grades are going to be pretty good at the quarterback position, and tight end, you have value there, but let's go get an elite tight end.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to, like I said earlier, buy a running back at a discount if people are worried about like draft capital right now. That's why Kyron Williams is going at a discount, because he was a 5th-round rookie pick, and we've been told in Dynasty Fantasy Football for the last couple years that you can't trust running backs that have been drafted in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. If they are as hyper-productive as Kyron Williams, you can trust them for the next 2 to 3 years while their rookie contract plays out, because guess what? That's as long as you're going to be able to trust any other running back in the NFL right now, because the position is so scarce. It's so bare. So receivers going into contract years are going to be incredibly safe investments. We're talking about Michael Pittman, T. Higgins. Who else? Marquise Brown. There's one more that I'm missing that's big. Brandon Ayuk. But Brandon Ayuk is actually crazy value right now.
Yeah.
So a top 4 tight end and tight end premium is going to set you apart in your league. So like I already said, make sure you get one of those elite tight ends.
Yeah, and also mention the draft capital. We've got the 103, 104, 106, and 202.
Yep, that's why you're only going to be a 1-year rebuild.
Yep, so good value here. I would definitely like to see the wide receiver positional grade go up here on a rebuild for sure. That'd be the one thing I'd be working towards. But
it's most important.
Look, dude, I didn't even know you could do this.
What?
That's it says Oscar Garcia gifted 10 Dynasty domain memberships. That's awesome. Oscar, we appreciate you, man. Hey, if you're a member now, because Oscar is one of the best people of all time, then that means you get to glow green or whatever on our channel when you run your stuff. He says, you guys will enjoy this great information, very knowledgeable, realist. Continue to share the love by getting more subscribers. We appreciate Oscar. Oscar's legit one of our tried and true, here all the time, one of the nicest dudes we have. So we love having him on. He's always got that little domain logo on his name.
I know, it looks so cool, actually.
Yeah, it is. Actually does look cool. So, hey, if you guys want a team blueprint, I will say again, flockfantasy.com/domain. Use code domain and choose a mother flocker tier.
Yeah.
In the comments, in the description, if you want to join and get a team blueprint for your Dynasty team, have us break it down live on the channel. We will do that for you as well. You also get into our listener leagues or new Dynasty leagues, 12-team Superflex Dynasty leagues with us. We're going to be doing some drawings for those and also our rankings and all of our Dynasty content. And exclusive videos. We have exclusive videos that we only release on the Flock website for our domain code users. So if you use code domain, choose a Flocker tier. You also get exclusive YouTube videos we do not release to the public. So we love taking care of our people over there. Toronto Dave is here, a Dynasty season baby. Yes, it is. King of Sports. Let's go to this one. You got it.
He's a Superflex start 10 team, 1.5 tight end premiums. That's a half point extra. Got Baker, Herbie, Geno, Roshan, Bijan, James Cook, Javonte, Chandler Smith, JSN, QJ Reed, Judy McBride, Schultz, Kraft, and Mayer. And some really nice picks as well. Any sells, I'll tell you right now. If you can get an elite quarterback for Bijan and you have to pay just a little bit more, I would go ahead and capitalize on that. Like if you can get a top 6 to 7 dynasty asset, which is most likely a quarterback right now, by paying Bijan in the 109, I would go and do it personally.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams, let's get him off your roster. I like Javonte Williams as an NFL talent. It's tough for me because I see what he could be, but at this point it's Sean Payton's team, and Sean Payton doesn't care who was there before he was, and he's going to favor those guys that he drafts. He's a team builder, and those guys that he didn't intend to draft on his team, he's probably going to let go. So there's not really any long-term security with Javonte Williams. Let's get him off your roster. If you can sell Devonta Smith for the right price, let's go ahead and do it. He has a pretty cap ceiling for the foreseeable future playing alongside A.J. Brown. And obviously Jalen Hurts, with the amount of rushing upside he has, it's very, very hit or miss with Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Judy. But how much are you really getting for Judy? I don't know. James Cook is the other guy, too, that I would consider trading out of. Those are some guys to target or to get rid of.
I did notice one of our mother flockers in here, and that's our guy Lando7, who said, just checked out my blueprints and my DMs. You guys are awesome. Dude, glad you enjoyed it. Take a look, and also DM us with any questions you have along the way. We're here to help you build your team. So appreciate you, Lando. Thanks for jumping on with us tonight, buddy.
Yeah. Patzer says, I have lots of old wide receivers. Adams, Diggs, Keenan Allen. I'd like to move for some younger players. Who are you guys targeting for their price? So Keenan Allen is probably the number one guy that, like, regardless of his production last year, I'm probably selling for what he's currently being valued at. Let me just pull up, and again, keep trade cut isn't the end-all, be-all at all. But let me pull this up here because I just don't trust Keenan Allen after this season. I think you're going to have some people, some contenders that are pretty interested in him and his price because of what he did last season. I think they're a year too late. I think this was the last of what we were going to get from Keenan Allen from an elite production perspective. And I know we've been saying that. Some people have for a couple of years. To me, this is the year. Like, it's a new coaching regime. It's probably John Harbaugh. They're probably, in my opinion, going to draft another receiver. So, like, I mean, he's value equivalent to Travis Kelce. I know that's another veteran guy and you're looking for a rebuild, but, like, I think Travis Kelce will hold his value better than Keenan Allen will.
Yeah.
Romeo Doubs, if you're a big fan of what he's been doing, I would even look at considering grabbing him. Chris Godwin keeps falling in value. Go and grab him. He's always a buy. So those are some targets that I'd look for there with Keenan Allen. With Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs specifically, I think you're stuck with holding them for this entire offseason until people come back to earth during the fantasy season, and your contenders need production and they need points, and you can just get rid of Diggs and you can get rid of Devontae Adams in the middle of the season and get a pretty solid haul for him.
Yeah. We did get a super chat from our boy Liam. Liam, we super appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. I'll highlight some Liam comments here real quick. He just said Devonta Smith for the 106 and Curtis Samuel. We said in this live stream, we are cool with that. So,
yeah,
good job. We straight up said it.
Yep.
Thank you for your super chats, buddy. We appreciate it. I also saw another Liam comment up here. I'm going to jump up. Yeah, it was the same one. Let's see. So yeah, what's our thoughts on that trade? Again, I think we would take the 106 over there. So good. I think that's a good trade. And here's another one from you. 12 teams start 7. Someone offered me AJ Brown, Hurts, and Hawkinson, and Cooper for the 101, 212, Stroud, Goddard, and Musgrave. Oh my gosh. Woo. I think I would take the proven side there. As in, I would take Hurts, AJ Brown, Hawkinson, and Cooper.
I told him to stick with the 101. He asked me this in the DMs, and I said stick with the 101 for now because it's January. If you go back 3 months from now and you get that offer again, I bet you can give up a little bit less if you're including that 101. That's my personal opinion.
I wouldn't be upset if he took it, but I definitely see why you would want to hold.
Because like, let's just try to equate these values here. So Stroud and Hurts value equivalent. I would prefer Stroud, right?
Yeah.
AJ Brown 101. I'd prefer the 101.
Yeah.
Then Hawkinson and Cooper or
isn't even close.
Musgrave Goddard 212. It's not close.
So it's hard.
But what are the most valuable positions there? It's quarterback and wide receiver, which are
you get Hurts and AJ Brown.
Right.
So I think I'm cool with it either way. Let's go to our guy R Grip Giants. Dude, we appreciate you, Super Chat. Thanks for supporting the channel. And your question is, you're doing a Superflex Start 9. It's a 12-team PPR league. You've got Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Walker, Devon Achane, Austin Eckler. My goodness. Diggs, Tank Dell, Reed, Kirk, Hollywood, Mark Andrews, and have the 103. Thoughts? My initial thought for you, our Griff Giants, is that that's a pretty good dynasty team. In a 12-team, I'm really happy with that. Up top, you got Mahomes. You got Watson, which is a serviceable Superflex quarterback.
He'll be serviceable for the next couple of years.
For the next couple of years. Pickett is nothing. I would trade Pickett for anything you can get. Trade Pickett for Baker Mayfield if you can.
There's no way you could do that.
I bet you could. I bet you could.
Seriously?
Let's see.
Pickett got benched.
I bet you could. But they're still letting him in the quarterback competition next year.
I know, but he'll be going into his 3rd year. He has no more guaranteed contract
he's not
insulation
good,
than Baker does. Like, Baker's going to get re-signed.
But we're reasonable. Oh, people who just go on name value would take Pickett still.
Okay, but keep trade cuts the most unreasonable.
Right,
so Pickett, QB 29, Baker, QB 19 is not close.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was going to say. I
All right,
didn't think
well,
it was that
so
close.
then what I said was correct. If you can trade Pickett for Baker, do it, but you probably can't.
So
Barkley, Walker,
because you said you probably could. So
Nathan,
it was
I'm trying to answer a super chat.
Incorrect.
Nathan, don't make me victory lap on you again live on the stream. I will.
I'm the one that should be victory lapping. You literally said, "Oh, I bet you could." I was like, "No, you can't."
I'm on like the 5th victory lap. Barkley, Walker, Achane, Eckler. You can't get much better than that at running back in a dynasty league. It kind of makes me scared, actually.
Yeah. So I think at the quarterback position, we were saying obviously try to get Pickett off for pretty much anything. If you can get like a second or something, do it. I would of your running backs, I'd say let's move off Walker. And let's move off Achane if you can get a really good price for Achane.
Yeah.
Those would be the 2 running backs I'd look to trade away. If you're
Although I don't know the price you're going to get for Achane right now because Achane, in my opinion, is being correctly valued at the moment. He's going in like the 3rd or 4th round. I'm cool with that. If Mostert's not going to be there.
That equivalent to Devontae Smith, Justin Fields, Tua.
So that's, the
106.
Yeah.
I'd easily take those all
I would
those
take
guys
the
over
106
Achane.
and 2. I'm not taking Fields. Frick no. But I would take the 106 to I don't remember who else it was. Diggs, hold. Tank, hold. Reed, what can you get for Jaden Reed right now?
Not
anything worth it?
Not a ton yet. Now,
There might be a point where you can.
He's up to wide receiver 24, and he's
that's a hold.
He's breathing down Mark Andrews' neck. But Mark Andrews is more of a buy than Jaden Reed is a sell, in my opinion.
Yes.
Because like if you were to
he's
say,
not a sell at that price.
Right? Do you prefer Jaden Reed or Dalton Kincaid? Like I honestly, I like Jaden Reed.
Definitely Jaden Reed. Yeah.
So I would almost go as far as saying that Jaden Reed maybe be a little bit undervalued.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
So Kirk, Hollywood holds, Mark Andrews hold, and you have the 103. We mentioned a couple moves there, but again, I think you're set to contend next year. Hold that 103 until the draft, see what you can get for it, work from there.
You know what's holding Jaden Reed's value from skyrocketing right now?
It better not be Christian Watson.
People are still hung up on Christian Watson because he still has
so dumb.
He still has value.
Okay, I gotta keep moving. Hey, Argiff Giants, we appreciate you, my friend. We did get super chat from our guy Joshua Jacobs. I'm assuming this is the Joshua Jacobs that's on one of our mother flockers over on flockfantasy.com. We appreciate you, my friend.
Yes,
thanks for stopping by, buddy. 10-team Superflex been all in the last few years have basically no picks. Okay, time to sell any of my assets. Allen, Rodgers, and Howell, Eckler, Mostert, Sharps, AJ, Debo, Puka, Waddle, Evans, Pitts. I think you've got the pieces there to rebuild, but it's time to rebuild because that roster, in my opinion, won't contend next year. I think Allen and Rodgers is good enough. I don't think Eckler, Mostert, and Sharps is. Your wide receivers are good enough. I don't think Pitts is. Honestly, this is really teetering, but this is also a 10-team. So I don't see that team competing in a 10-team league. I'm curious what you think there. I would blow it up. And hold Puka, Waddle.
You're in
Allen,
a really
Brown.
good position to blow it up because your wide receivers are so good.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
But like, am I confident enough as a contender in that Waddle is really going to show out next year? Not necessarily. Am I confident that Eckler is going to make a comeback and that Mostert's going to do what he did this season? No way. Am I confident in Charbonnet? I'm confident in him maintaining his value, but I'm not even close to being confident in him production-wise next year. So, yeah, I would probably look at moving off all of your running backs, kind of just scrapping it, and let's move off. Honestly, A.J. Brown is going to be the most valuable guy there. I wonder what draft capital you could get in exchange for A.J. Brown.
I don't know. That's an interesting question.
In a super flex. That might be something to consider because I know it's crazy to say with A.J. Brown's contract insulation, but he is approaching that age, that good old dreaded 27, where he's going to start going nowhere but down in dynasty value. That's not us. Okay, if it were up to us, he'd be valued where he should be for the next couple of years, but that's not going to happen with his market value. So you might want to, you might want to get out now.
Yeah, I agree. But again, it seems like you've had a solid team the last couple of years. I think I'd get out on some of those guys now. But
Pitts too.
Josh, as always, message us on Discord. Seriously, we can help you out with this. And if you're a motherflocker on our Discord under code domain, message us anytime, any of you. I did want to, real quick, I'm going to do a blueprint. Lucas said, what's up? Love the videos. Can I have a shout out? Shout out, Lucas. I want to give you a shout out, buddy. Appreciate you watching. Thanks for joining us, man. Yeah. Appreciate the kind words. Let's jump to a blueprint now. Let's look at a blueprint that we did for one of our domain mother flockers. Like I said, you can jump over to flockfantasy.com/domain if you'd like your own. This blueprint is our guy, Purple Pedro, who I talked to today and said, hey, you're welcome to use my blueprint. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do that.
We will.
Because this one's an interesting one. So let's go and break this down. I almost said go through. Let's go through and break this blueprint down. Say break this blueprint 4 times.
Break this blueprint down. Break this blueprint down. Break this blueprint down. Break this blueprint down.
Just show off. All right. This one's going to be a well-rounded team build. You've got Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. It's like a 7 out of 10 in our grading system. And by the way, I forgot to say the league settings here. The league settings, why is it cutting this off? There we go. The league settings are super flex. You've got 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end. When I'm better stuttering through than you could ever even... I'm just kidding.
You good there?
One QB. Like I said, me stuttering is still not bad. because at least I stutter quickly, right? It's not the same.
So are you saying you're better at stuttering through than I am?
Yes, I am saying.
How is this a competition?
It just is.
Are you just upset because I've beaten you in every other argument today?
You want me? I'm gonna kill you, dude. One quarterback, super flex. Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, 7 out of 10. You got Joe Burrow anchoring it down, so that's nice. At running back,
today.
yeah. At running back, Joe Mixon and Kyron Williams. I like having Kyron there. Joe Mixon is a good veteran guy to have on a roster like that. So, that's going to be a 6 for your running backs. CeeDee Lamb, Chris Godwin, Jaden Reed, JSN, Rashee Rice. That's got to be a 9, right? An 8. I would say 8.5 there. Tight end is a 7 because you've got Mark Andrews, and your backup tight end is Darren Waller and Logan Thomas. It's about a 7 for me. With a better backup, you'd be in an 8 or 9 there pretty easily. You've also got Geno backing up on the bench. I would have put Geno in the starting lineup on this one, but Aaron Rodgers will be good next year as well. Tyjae Spears on the bench, which also boosts up your running back score a little bit. Tyjae, Kyron, and Joe Mixon is 6. Yeah, okay, all right. I guess.
Yeah.
Dobbins, Keaton Mitchell, Tyler Boyd. So 7 out of 10 on your bench. It's pretty good depth for a team like this. We're going to have you reloading this year, so you're just going to reload that team to contend for the next 2 years. That's your 3-year outlook. So cornerstone assets, Burrow, Kyron, CD, JSN, and Mark Andrews. Let's look at some guys you could potentially trade. By the way, this is a 3 IDP league. Let's look at some guys you could potentially trade. Rashee Rice, you could turn into a quarterback. Trade Rashee Rice for Jared Goff plus. That would be awesome in my opinion. Christian Watson. Consistency is what we want. Can you trade Christian Watson? What's the difference on Keep Trade Cut between Christian Watson right now and Stephon Diggs? This better be astronomically different, or I'm going to lose my mind.
Take a guess.
I'm going to guess it's Stephon by a little bit.
The difference between Christian Watson and Stephon Diggs is a late 4th round pick.
Ugh. Okay.
Christian Watson is wide receiver 30. Stephon Diggs is wide receiver 27. That is laughable. That's hilarious.
Christian Watson's at 30?
Go run to the bank and go cash that in now.
Go trade every league you have Christian Watson and trade him for Stephon Diggs. You heard it here first. Jameson Williams, which we say consistency, and no, Stephon Diggs was not consistent this year. Actually, he was. For the first half of the season, he was consistently good, and then he was consistently not. But
because the Bills were bad.
Because the Bills were bad, though. Jameson Williams wants somebody with a higher floor, like Joshua Downs, somebody who's going to command more targets, have a more regular involvement in the passing game. We like Josh Downs a lot. You are going to grade out as more of a contender because you've got elite positional assets and you have few picks. You've got the 111, 207, 208, so you have all your picks from this year and hopefully all your picks in the future. A couple comments here. You've got great potential at wide receiver and keep building on that in a reload. Trade back from the 111 post-combine / pre-NFL draft. So in that March to April range, trade back from that 111 and trade back to the 202 maybe. 201, 202, 203. That's the place we're targeting. Prioritize acquiring a safe quarterback too. And Jared Goff, I think, would be a main target for this team for sure. But Purple Pedro, my friend, we appreciate you, and we appreciate you being a member of the flock with code DOMAIN. And again, if you guys want one of these team blueprints, you want to break down your Dynasty team, get a comprehensive plan for your Dynasty team, we'll make one for you. We will help you build your Dynasty team with one-on-one advice. And if you want that, flockfantasy.com/domain. Use code DOMAIN, choose a meta flocker. It's in the comments section pinned. It's also down below if you want to join us. I want to see new faces. I need new people to talk to over there. So flockfantasy.com/domain. Like I said, use code DOMAIN. Let's go through and answer some. Let's go through and answer some comments real quick. Nathan, you want to take King of Sports?
Yeah, King of Sports says, should I try to tier up Chandler to Spears, or what would I need to add to Chandler to get it done? Maybe less than I think. I mean, personally, I would say a lot. If it were me and I had Spears and you wanted to give me Chandler plus, I'd be like, Chandler doesn't mean anything to me in that deal. Chandler is actually the running back 41 right now, according to Keep Trade Cut. Tyjae Spears, running back 14. If you give like Ty Chandler in a mid-second and you can get Tyjae Spears, I would absolutely do that. And I think that's honestly a pretty realistic price to acquire Tyjae Spears. Brett Favre, oh no.
Fell.
Oh man. Just fell. Did he get a concussion? He yeah.
Is the Saints defense in here somewhere?
Yes. Yeah.
Good football
They
joke.
shot him.
Yep.
Decker says 10 team, 2 QB start 9 plus 6 nice defensive players and a rebuild. Got an offer of Stroud and CD for Josh Allen, DK, and the 107. Also have pick 104. Dude, Stroud and CD.
CDs.
Yep, Stroud and CDs. CD is, I mean, talk about taking a step up this year and establishing himself as
A
the wide receiver 2 in Dynasty.
How dare you say that?
How dare I? I will. He's already had a more productive season than Jamar Chase ever has. So I would hold Stroud and CD there if you own both of those guys. We got a super chat here.
We did get a super chat. I must have missed that. I'm sorry. Who's it from?
Or no, we didn't. This is from a while ago. Why does it keep doing that? I always put it to
Get
live.
your crap together.
I always go live and then it like stops.
Hey, I did get a comment. I did see a comment down here. It says, y'all run the likes up so they answer more questions. Let's get the likes to 50. How about this? We're at 30 likes right now. If we get to 50 likes, I'll go through and answer as many questions.
You'll go through and you'll just say go through.
I'll just say go through. I'll go through and answer as many questions in 5 minutes as I possibly can.
That'll be entertaining.
That would be entertaining.
Especially since I've gotten him so riled up today.
Yeah.
He's
so
very,
if we get it to 50, I will do the mega question blitz. I'll answer as many as I possibly can.
And then he'll
I'll
flex
die.
and try to victory lap even though there is no thing to victory lap.
You know why I
around
do
me
that,
there.
Nathan? Do you know why I victory lap?
Because
of how it makes you feel.
How it makes me
That's
feel.
what's
I
funny.
feel great today.
I'm just trolling you.
No, I know you're trolling. That's why I feel great
You
today.
don't always know that.
No, it's totally independent of. I don't even know what I'm saying. Patzer says, also, I have Hurts, Prescott, and Love in a 1 QB league. I need to move one for some value. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to move at least one for some value. Like, if you just hang on to Hurts and you sell Prescott or Love and you go get Jared Goff as your second QB and you get a ton of value back for Prescott and Love, I mean, heck yes. Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely doing that. No
Yeah.
question. Just got an offer for CJ Stroud. And the reason we're saying that, Patzer, is if you have any QBs that are like that should be starting every single week outside of 1.5, like in a 1 QB, it's like tight ends. Like you shouldn't have 3 elite tight ends on your team.
True.
It's good for value in the offseason, but you shouldn't be having those 3 tight ends on your roster when it comes to push and shove in the regular season because they're capping your ceiling, and that means that applies even more to quarterbacks because you can only start one quarterback. Tight ends you can flex, quarterbacks you can't. So you got to raise your ceiling there. Austin says Hollywood or Keenan Allen, sell one for running back and which running back to target. I'd sell Keenan Allen, and because Hollywood is actually less valuable than Keenan Allen right now. Hollywood has fallen a lot. Keenan Allen, go get like a guy, a dart throw. Go get like a Jalen Warren or something like that.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a ton that you're going to be able to get for either.
No.
So if you want to get more value,
And all the running backs in the range of Keenan, in my opinion, are not targets. I would say Hollywood and try to get Tajay.
but Hollywood is less valuable than Keenan Allen, so you're not going to be able to get Tajay.
Is he seriously?
Yeah, did you
What?
Did you miss me?
Yeah,
Say
I
that?
did miss
Yeah.
you. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
I was.
So yeah, Marquise Brown, currently a wide receiver 43, equivalent to like Dontavion Wicks. I know he's a big buy because he doesn't cost anything. Keenan Allen, wide receiver 39.
I missed that. I'm sorry. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
I would have never guessed that.
So get rid of the guy that you know is going to inevitably lose value for the next year, which is Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
So that's what I recommend there. Josh Jacobs says, as Caleb Williams goes number 1 to Chicago, where do you think he'd rank among QBs? I think he'd rank around the QB 12 in Dynasty. That's usually where the best quarterback in every single rookie class, lands, the 12 to 14 range, if they go, top 3. So that's what we saw with Bryce Young and Stroud last year. They were both in that 12 to 14 range. So,
Sure. Yeah.
Crazy Dog 36
Crazy
says, should I
Dog.
trade Eckler and what for? I already traded him. Just want to know if I made the right move. Well, I would love to know what
I want to know what you traded him for.
him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got to know a little bit more information there. Patrick says, a little bit more information. I can't talk. Patrick says, do you guys prefer Brian
Forrest
Thomas? Do you guys prefer Brian Thomas Jr. or Troy Franklin at the moment?
Good question.
Brian Thomas at the moment because of where he's being mocked.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not just the fact that he's going in the first round being mocked there. It's being at the end of the first round and being mocked to all of these elite offenses like the Bills, like the Bengals, like the Texans, like the Chiefs. So as of now, we prefer Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
I could see us getting to a point post-combine where Troy Franklin
I think of these guys in the same tier, honestly, like the tier of guys behind the elite group of wide receivers that could jump up into the first round.
The tough thing
I just always pair these guys together in my head for some reason.
Yeah, I think in our most recent rankings video, though, we did have Troy Franklin a tier below Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
And in most of our mocks, Troy Franklin is going multiple picks past Brian Thomas because of the projected landing spot. So just give us a break there. We don't know for sure. That's just where we're at right now. Sean says, hey, guys, I already traded away my first and third round picks. Would you trade away Metcalf in the 208 for an early to mid first, like the 105 to 107, if there's a taker? Is it a 1 QB?
I mean, until he specifies a superflex. That's how I treat every question.
All right, assuming it's superflex, yeah, I'd absolutely do that.
What's a good price to sell JSN at? I want the 106 or higher.
Yeah, and you're not getting that.
Probably
so not. I just would not sell JSN unless you're getting that.
Chris Cash traded Hawk, Devonta, Monty, Russ in the 203. Holy smokes. For the 101, Addison, Daniel Jones, Waller in the 305. Okay, Waller's out. 305's out. 101, Addison. Okay. I'm fine with that. I mean...
Yeah, I like that.
I
like that.
Hawk, Devonta.
But think about where Hawk's valued, even in tight end premium right now. He's
that's true. All right, yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm good with it. Good trade.
There's a ton of value there in the 101.
There's a ton of value.
You're playing value there. That doesn't mean that come the start of 2024 season that you keep all those assets. Like you may want to make.
Let's play. What does this guy mean? Tyler, what's up, Tyler? Would you trade Guilds for Cousins, Kittle, Gibbs? That's probably right.
Yeah.
Wow, he got to Guilds? Hold on. That's not even close to B on the keyboard. For Cousins, Kittle, and an early. Hard to say. I don't... A second.
No.
Oh, it's a second.
No.
So no. No, I would not.
Assuming that's Gibbs.
Yeah. Assuming it's Gibbs, no. But if it's somebody else, let me know.
Yeah.
In lag, 1-point PPR, or 12-team 1-point PPR, 1 QB, okay? 104, 105, 108, 110, 111, 202, 204. Should I go wide receivers the entire first round? You should go value the entire first round.
Go value.
Puka, JSN, Spears. I mean, look, if you're a rebuild, yeah, you're going to want to focus on wide receiver for your team. But again, take the value that falls to you at the 104 and 105. And then again at the 108. Take the best value available at every pick, and you just don't ever have to worry about it.
By the end of this draft season, you guys better be so annoyed with us by May, because you've heard us say take the value that falls at least 12 times every single week. Like, you're gonna lose your mind, and I want it to stay in there for every single year from here on out. What's up?
He meant Fields.
Oh wow!
Because that's what Wafflehauser says.
Because F and G,
by the G, and he forgot
the I, and then the E. He forgot LDS.
It's Fields for Cousins, Kittle, and an early second.
Yeah, I do that.
Really, you would?
Yeah, for Fields, you have to take the value, dude.
I feel like the value is with Fields there.
Yeah, you have to take Fields.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said.
No, it says, would you trade Fields for those players?
Oh, no, I'd take Fields.
Okay, that's what I was like.
No, I go Fields.
I was like, what?
Yeah, no, we're really low on Fields,
but you got
to play the market there.
Yeah, not that. No, I'm not that low on Fields this offseason. He's in the third now. That's better, because it
is better.
It's not. It's better. BEDDER.
I mean, that was Fields' price 2 years ago,
and it was okay.
And
he also was unproven, though.
And he was more unproven than he is now. And now, granted,
Fields
proven is 7 wins and suck.
Can you imagine Justin Fields just like sitting in his apartment watching us, like just trashing the industry? He'd probably be like,
he doesn't give a rip. He's making millions of dollars.
We love you, Justin. No, we don't.
We want Fields. We want Fields. It's the Chicago Bears fan base. No, I'm sorry. I just think it's hilarious.
320.
Bears fans haven't seen good football since 1985.
Hey, we have Bears fans on here that we love.
Yes.
325 first, and I couldn't get the 101 in 2024. I am sorry. Appreciate the feedback. You're welcome. Legend of Krakatawa says, PPR 12 team Superflex start 9, tight end premium 2.5. I love the questions that like 3/4 of the text is just the league settings.
Yeah. League settings in the roster.
Who are some tight end targets I could go after? In a tight end premium 12 team, I would be going right now after Mark Andrews. He's one of my favorite buys.
Yep.
TJ Hawkinson is also a buy because he is injured and his price has decreased a little bit. Those two guys are the guys I'm going after for sure.
Kincaid kind of depends on the situation of your team.
I know. Don't trade Higgins, but at what price are you biting? If you're getting anything round 4 startup or better, I would take that.
Yep. Or if you're talking rookie picks,
probably around
107 or better.
Yeah.
Higgins is going for a lot of like late firsts, early seconds right now, and that's where I really like him at price, where I'm taking Higgins. So
yeah.
Jacob says, is there a startup strategy that you would recommend above others? Perhaps a strategy for a range of startup positions, the 101, the 102, the 104, mid picks, 107, 110, 112.
Let's make this a tradition.
Funny that you asked.
Let's make that a tradition, because I'm just going to go ahead and go through and drop this link in the description. This is, ladies and gentlemen, our video on our startup draft strategy that we use for all of our startup drafts, and we've never, ever had a bad startup draft. I'm just kidding. I had a bad one last year and the year before that, so it happens a lot.
Yeah.
But still, we did make a video on that, so there you go.
Spoiler, get ready.
I'm ready.
Just so you know.
I'm ready.
Our 3rd episode of Dynasty Decoded is startup draft strategy. It is 25 minutes of in-depth startup draft strategy.
People are probably like, what's that?
If you want to know the ins and outs of startup drafts and how to go about them and how to go through them, then you need to watch that video. Like that, we've put a ton of time and effort into that video. It is the most like comprehensive plan that we've come up that transcends all years. So
yeah, those are big words: comprehensive and transcend. Speaking of comprehensive, blueprint time.
Yeah.
Let's do Wiz. Wiz,
Ooh,
we
Wiz.
appreciate you being a member over there, man. Appreciate all your kind
Gee
words.
whiz.
I have love.
Sorry. It's just
You want me to end the stream?
dude, our head coach is Shane Steichen. Come on.
Golly.
Gee whiz.
He's got a leg.
He's got a leg.
You got Wiz, dude.
He's so robotic.
Be a Wiz and get Wiz. That wasn't funny.
What?
That wasn't funny. I was stupid. You should have just told me I was an idiot. Just go.
You're an idiot. But that was already like assumed, so I don't have to remind you all the time. That'd be rude. So yeah, we're gonna whiz through Wiz's blueprint here, and he's got a 12-team super flex start 10.
See how I reacted to that?
Yep. I've got your team archetype as a hard rebuild. That sounds really negative, and that sounds really bad. Is it bad? No. It is not the worst thing ever to have to rebuild. Situations can look worse on paper than they actually do long-term with the outcome of your team. And right now, you don't have very many rookie picks. Right now, you don't have a lot of QB security or depth. There are ways to recover from this. This is fine. Both of us have had horrible Dynasty teams, like bottom 2, that looked like they wouldn't be anything in the next 3 to 4 years, and we were able to turn them around and have success within a year or 2 just because we played the market. We worked really hard to make good trades in the offseason, and it paid off. So what I'm going to recommend to you, first and foremost, with your situation, since you don't have very many wide receivers, since you don't have very many quarterbacks, those are your primary cornerstone assets that you want to have. Since you don't have those, we got to get every single running back off your roster ASAP. And when I mean every single one, I mean you should be starting the 4-string active running back on the Green Bay Packers in 2024.
You should be spamming running back.
You need to have 0 running backs on your roster. Like, I am not kidding. Get rid of them all. So Breece Hall, let's go get rid of Breece Hall, and let's get a cornerstone wide receiver or quarterback. He is currently value equivalent to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ram.
He is currently value equivalent. You can probably get Olave plus a little if you gave up Breece Hall right now. I mean, you're talking right off the bat with that deal alone, you're feeling so much more comfortable. Puka Nacua, there's another guy that you could target there. Josh Jacobs, let's get a young wide receiver or rookie picks. 2026.
Not the Josh Jacobs in our comments. That is one of our motherfuckers.
Right.
But
right.
the football.
Yeah, we don't want to sell.
We don't want to sell you, Josh.
No,
you're good.
No, you're good. 2026 rookie picks are going to be your best friend. That sounds like it's super far out. And honestly, what are we now? 2024? It is not that far out anymore. I mean, you're talking about like in 2022.
2026 picks are the new 2025 picks.
Right, they are. So it really isn't that far out. And when you're looking at a 2-year rebuild, you're going to have a ton of value, and people are not looking far ahead into 2026 like you will have to be at the moment. So you can get some big discounts if you go get 26 picks specifically. There's already people that are trying to get discounts in 25, which means you're not going to get that great of a discount in 2025. So go target those. Ramondre Stevenson, let's get a developmental asset. I mean, I'm talking like Michael Wilson developmental. I'm talking Josh Downs developmental. You may have to give up a little bit on top of Ramondre to get a Josh Downs. If you can get a cornerstone quarterback as well, like think of like a Brock Purdy plus for Breece Hall. What you want to do is not do 1-for-1 trades, or avoid 1-for-1 trades at all costs. If you can trade away a Breece Hall and get Brock Purdy plus draft capital, you're now multiplying the amount of value that you could potentially capitalize on in the future. If you're just doing Breece Hall for Amon-Ra straight up, who we have as a target, but if you're just doing that 1-for-1 straight up, you really just have a 50-50 shot technically at winning that trade. And how much are you really getting value positive?
It's really not. It's really not a win at all. I think
Right.
you'll win either way, but you're making a lateral move. Lateral moves are not wins.
This is all about value accumulation, and you only accumulate value by getting
Hashtag
more
fundamentals.
draft capital and more assets that you know at least have a really good chance at appreciating in value over the next 9 months. So in 6-point passing touchdown leagues, which is your league, rushing quarterbacks have less value. So keep that in mind in your drafts or when you're making deals. If someone wants to trade away a quarterback who is valued because of their rushing upside, remember that premium is a little less significant because the only difference is the rushing yards, not the rushing touchdowns. So it's a big knock on someone like Jalen Hurts specifically. You're playing the long game, so it's all wide receiver. It's all quarterback and rookie pick investment this offseason. Your tight ends, I mean, you have TJ Hawkinson, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend to move off Hawkinson, but if he's hyper productive in 2024 like we expect him to be, and you get a haul and you get a bunch of 26 picks, or you get some really good chances at getting more cornerstone assets, you may want to pull that trigger. Just don't do it right now. Don't sell him low. So that's going to be our opinion on this roster here. I really think the future is going to be bright for you if you just make the right moves this offseason, start off on the right foot.
Yeah, I agree. Again, Wiz, we appreciate you, man. I've loved talking to you over there. Thanks for joining the flock. If you want one of these team blueprints for yourself, you already know where to go. I'm not even going to say it. It's in the comments. It's in the descriptions. Use code domain motherflockcheer, and you get one of these. Flockfantasy.com/domain. I did end up saying it, but I feel like I had to. In case people were watching that weren't watching before, I want to jump down to the bottom here. I see a couple guys that are motherflockers that I want to answer. Liam did say he's already annoyed with you guys saying take the value.
Oh,
That's
good.
what I like to hear.
Good. That is
That
the
means
idea.
we're saying it enough.
We're gonna go through and we're just gonna keep.
This
bothering
is
you.
a CSC, which now I know is not Asian eater. It's which is what we said last time.
like Asia eating season.
Yeah, it's I see. Hey boys, what's up? Still working the rebuild. Good to hear. Thoughts on the down tier of Fields? And he said he did an asterisk and put Guilds down there. Fields for Bryce and Javonte. Running back need ? No, you do not need, because it is January.
You need value.
You need value. Or up tier for Kyler or Love. What else would you add on? We're so annoying. People are gonna hate it by the time we're done. Because people just want variety in our answers and our content, and we refuse. We're just like, take the value.
They'd be like, I unsubscribed. This is ridiculous.
It's sound advice.
Like this in a year.
Okay, let's see. Or Dak. So let's see. Fields for Bryce and Javonte. I'm cool with that. Up tier to Kyler or Love. I like that too. What else do you need to add on? On top of Fields, I would try to get away with a late first. If you can do that, I'm doing it all day. In 2 seconds, I'm doing it all day. Value equivalent to those assets is what I would say, but appreciate you jumping on, my friend, now that we know your name especially. But let me keep scrolling through here because I feel... Oh, we did get a super chat from our guy, Preston. Preston, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for supporting the channel. We appreciate it, brother. Here's your question. 10 team, start 10 Superflex. Anthony Richardson,
Yes.
Bryce, London, JSN, Zay Addison, Dotson, and no running backs. Let's clap for that. That's awesome. No running backs. We hate running backs. 101, 106. No, we love them.
I've recommended a lot of different running backs to people in blueprints depending on their situation. If you can get a market value positive outlook like a Tyjae Spears, then go target Tyjae Spears.
101, 106, 201, 206, 225 first, 225, 226 first. Am I too young? Do I wait it out? So you're not too young if you're a rebuild, and to me, I don't think you're too young. You're evaluating, or you're accumulating draft capital. You've got young quarterbacks that project well. Bryce Young still projects decently. Young wide receivers, all of them, which I would say, maybe. But here's the thing. I don't think you can be too young on a rebuild necessarily, because unless you're contending, it really doesn't matter what the age is. You don't have old guys, so I don't really care if I don't think there's such thing as too young. Now, I don't want to be explicitly only young on my Dynasty team just to have young assets, but I don't think that's what you're doing here. So, no, I don't think you should move off of your youth for age or maturity. All of these guys are fairly proven, so no, I like it. Do you wait it out? I would wait it out. I would I would start seeing what you can flip your picks for. Not after, by August or September, you might be able to move some of the future first and get some, depending on what your team looks like, who you get the 101, 106, 201, and then look at your lineup, evaluate, and say, am I 2 moves away? Am I 2 moves away from contending this year? Maybe you'll be able to move those 25 first at that point, like during the season next year, and then flip it to a contender. Yeah. I bet, it just depends on the rest of your roster. I bet in a 10-team you're probably 2 years away, but I never count anybody out. You can always, we love 1-year rebuilds. So I would definitely aim for it if you can to just go ahead and contend next year. Mm-hmm. I think you could do it. You got to make good moves, though. Keep trading. It would be my advice to you. I do want to answer our guy Zach's comment. Zach Shade, one of our domain mother flockers. Who would you rather have, Andrews or Kincaid? I would still rather have Mark Andrews, I think, for the time being. Go ahead. Yeah.
If you're talking in a vacuum, personal opinion, Andrews. If you're talking market value, Kincaid.
Yeah. All right, let me scroll through here. Let's see who else I saw. Liam says, no one in my league wants Bryce Young or Russ, so I just trade them for whatever I can get. No, I would hold Bryce Young if you're not. I wouldn't trade him for whatever. I don't think those guys are like sell them now. So, let's see. Isaiah is one of our domain mother flockers. Isaiah, what's up, man? Have Javonte Williams and want to move on. Who should I grab and for what price? Will you give me some Javonte Williams, guys, please?
Yep.
See who we got here. See what market says.
Market says, and I always go lower than this.
Dude, Chris Cash really wants me to answer these freaking questions.
Yeah, market says like market says like an early to mid second. I would lean more like a mid second is probably what people will bite on. A Josh Downs, a Christopher Godwin, a Christian Kirk, who everyone hates continually. So those are some of the targets I'd look for there.
Yeah. Let's jump down to our super chat from our guy. This is the best name I've ever read in my life. Brizzleton Jones.
Dude.
What a name.
Oh, my gosh.
Is Kyron worth a 25 first and third?
Yes.
As long as it doesn't project to be like the 101, yes, he's worth that.
Yep. Yes, sir.
He is worth that for sure. Yeah. We're at 47 likes. I'm getting kind of nervous. But at this point, they're probably going to hit it, so I'll let you answer some questions here.
Pill Doctor says, what's going on, fellas? Hey, man.
Hey, Kill.
Nat322 says, hey, guys, traded Gibbs for 108, 109, and 208 thoughts. 12 teams start 10, half PPR league. Oh, half PPR league. Still taking Gibbs. They're still taking Gibbs. So I know the first are attractive at face value, but when you historically look at like 108 beyond in the first round, their hit rates are pretty much 50-50 and they aren't much more valuable than like early seconds. So I would have held Jahmyr Gibbs there. Now, maybe if you can flip those late first and get some more proven assets, maybe you end up on top anyway. So it's not necessarily a super bad deal, but I would have kept Gibbs there. Yeah. Christian says, should I trade AJ Brown for a Olave and a 25 second? Those assets are so huge. The second doesn't make a difference for me, especially when it's a year out. I think it's pick your poison, pick which one has more value, and that's AJ Brown currently. Jake Johnson says, what's up, fellas? Yo. Take the value that falls. How are we feeling about Josh Jacobs as a competitor as he heads into free agency?
If you're competing, I think you're holding him.
Yes.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I think Jacobs is relatively safe because we're pretty confident that he's going to sign a contract. He's not going to get tagged again. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for saying that, but like at some point, these running backs are either going to have to get paid or every single team in the NFL is going to have to draft a running back, and that's not going to happen this year. So I think someone will pay Josh Jacobs. I just don't know what that amounts to for anyone that isn't a competitor. I wouldn't be recommending buying Josh Jacobs to anyone who isn't competing. Easy B says, I swapped back 2 spots in the first round, 105 to 107, and added a 202 for Nakua. Overpay or a good trade? So you traded back
2 spots.
2 spots.
So he traded the 105, the 202, and got 107 in Puka.
Yeah, that's not an overpay, man. That's a highway robbery.
That's a steal. What in the world, man?
I wish I played in leagues where I could get deals like that.
That's like when people are in comments like, I wish I played in leagues with these crowds. That's my favorite comment. Come do it. Come see who can get the luckiest come playoff time.
So would you prefer Patrick Mahomes or Davis Mills and Corey Davis and Miles Sanders?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
There's a whole debate, and that was one of our first.
That's so stupid.
That was very funny.
Steel Mob.
Yeah, Steel Mob says, would you trade Olave and a mid 25 first for Tank deal in the 24-107? I would hold Olave there. If you're getting Olave and a first and you're giving up Dell in the 107, I'm holding Olave in the mid 25 first there. Yeah. Pill Docta says, I currently have the 104, 105, and 112, along with AR and Gino, Chase, Waddle, Puka, Gabe Davis, Judy. Then you got Connor, Henry, Kamara, Pierce, and then Chase Brown, and then Komet, Logan Thomas, and Taysom Hill. Definitely not Tyreek Hill. And thinking Daniels 104, trade back or take BB, Brock Bowers, 105, trade back, or Bo Nix, Penix at the 112. So, Pill Doctor, we need to have a heart-to-heart here. So, I'm going to tell you to take the value that falls. And what I think is most important here to really elaborate, and I'm not being sarcastic, I'm actually trying to help you out here. The most important thing that you want to prioritize here, when I'm saying prioritize value, I'm saying don't look at your quarterback room and say, my QB2 is Geno Smith. I'm not safe, so I have to take a quarterback at 104. Look, if Williams, May, and Daniels go 101 to 103, and you're left with Marvin Harrison Jr. at the 104, just take Marvin Harrison Jr. That's the best value available. Yeah. If Brock Bowers goes 5th overall in the NFL draft and you are presented Brock Bowers at the 104, but you want Jaden Daniels, who also goes top 12, honestly, you might just want to go Brock Bowers because he's probably the better value there.
Hey,
so
you know what Chris Cash said in the comments right here about this one?
What? I just want to tell y'all, or I want y'all to get 50 likes.
What? No, take the value. It says it right there.
Oh, my bad. I was looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. Gosh, oh, he said take the value. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you, Chris Cash. Shut up, Avery. So, yeah, that's kind of my long answer to a short answer, which is take the value. At the 112 especially, we could pull out Bo Nix and Michael Penix out of our butts right now and say, yeah, go take him at the 112. If we're being completely honest with you.
We could pull what?
Like, we could be completely honest with you. We don't know where Penix and Bo Nix are going to land. If they go mid to late first, then they're probably going to go mid to late first in your rookie drafts. If they go second, yeah, they'll go around that range. But for now, we can't guarantee that you take Nix or Penix.
I'm not pulling anybody on my butt. I don't know. That is not a blanket statement. Like, I'm not
Are you
doing
sure you're just
that.
pulling the blanket out of your butt?
Okay. No, we're going to end it there. That's going to be it.
Clay says rebuilding. I don't have any good wide receivers besides JSN, although I have the 101, 102, and 105, but I have Gibbs and Achane. Should I trade my running backs for receivers and picks? Depends on what receivers and picks you're getting. Of the 2 running backs that you have, I would definitely trade away Achane before I traded away Gibbs, just because there's more question marks with Achane. You're not going to get as much in return, obviously. But you could get, if you can get the 106 for Achane, I'd get the 106.
Yeah.
So.
All right, boys, we're going to wrap it up. We've been on here for about an hour and 20 minutes-ish, but we got some other stuff to do because we are pretty busy. It's Dynasty season, and honestly,
Yeah.
Dynasty season tends to be one of the busier times in our business and in our channel. So we love having you all
keep
around.
an eye out for that strategy video.
Yes, please do. We got some coming out next week. Like I said, if you want a team blueprint like you saw in today's video, flockfantasy.com/domain. Use code domain. Choose another flocker tier. It's pinned in the comments. It also is in the description. Follow the link there. Use code domain. Sign up for the Mother Flocker tier. You get a team blueprint. You get in our listener leagues, Dynasty leagues.
Ooh.
You also get our rankings and everything that comes with that. So,
We're at 50 likes, buddy.
No, we're not.
We are literally at 50 likes.
I was gonna get out of it.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna start a timer. 5 minutes, right?
All right, hold on. I gotta get back up to the top. Are you kidding?
I'm just
me?
gonna sit back and have fun. I'm gonna drink my body armor. Free advertising. I love body armor. So does he. I don't know. Definitely from you.
My phone.
Oh, that's pretty
All
awesome.
right, 5
actually.
straight minutes. I'm gonna answer as many unanswered questions as I can in a row.
Go back up to where
I'm going
I was.
up. I'm going up.
Going up.
And then after the 5 minutes is over, we'll end it on this. So
All right.
this is gonna freaking wear me out.
All right. And
So am I at Jacob's question?
yeah, where was I at?
You did this one, but you skipped a couple. Maybe you didn't skip those. Never
No,
mind.
I didn't skip any.
All right, I'm
I'm
ready.
after Pill Doctor.
Yeah. Oh, Pill Doctor?
Yeah, Pill Doctor. No, I didn't get there. So go back up. Yeah, go back up. Yeah. Okay, so Puka 202.
We did all these.
Yeah, Easy B. Yeah. Yeah. So after Pill Doctor, go to Jacob. Yep.
All right.
There we go.
All right,
All right.
5 straight minutes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Jacob asks, which side, Bryce Young Mingo, 24 fourth, or Geno Smith? Who's B? B, Geno Smith, 207, 209. Oh, my gosh. This is this is not a good one to start with. I would probably just lean the Bryce Young side here. Diggs is a hold for me. He's a hold for me, too. Like A.J. Brown. Huh? Yeah, I'm A.J. Brown. So CeeDee Lamb or Bijan in the 202. I'll go CeeDee Lamb there. Liam said we already talked about this when he traded Devonta for the 106 and Curtis Samuel. Congratulations. Kyle on YouTube. What's up, Kyle on YouTube? Says 10-team Superflex. Should I trade Anthony Richardson in the 103 for Josh Allen? Looking to compete next year, Anthony Richardson, Bijan, Brees. So this is a 10-team Superflex. I would personally hold Anthony Richardson in the 103 here. I think you're going to get somebody elite at the 103 in a Superflex league. You also have all those guys. Any suggested targets for that?
Jeez.
It looks like you could get even another elite wide receiver and have room for it. You've got good running backs. It looks like a team is ready to contend, so good job on that, Kyle
team
on
is
YouTube.
incredible.
Appreciate you joining us. Jay Smith said, if I trade all of my running backs, at which point do I start targeting the 2 or 3 that I will need to fill my lineup? If you get to August, if you get to early September and you have lineup needs, then you can start making moves. I say August is probably a good one for that. You have a month to make moves. Just don't operate on team need now. Chris, what's up, Chris Cash? This is the guy who baited me into this. 10-team Superflex start 10, full PPR half. Tight end premium, got through that. I have the 101, 105, and 107. I don't have a solid QB. You've got Kirk and Aiden O'Connell. Yeah, you do not. I mean, Kirk is solid, but O'Connell's not. I have J.J. Chase, Addison Kincaid. Who would I draft at the 101? In a Superflex league, you're taking Caleb Williams at the 101 anyways, but especially with that team, I'm taking Caleb Williams at the 101. Probably take the value. We're going to wait and see. Good to see you, my friend. Shivla says Puka and the 109 or Bijan in the 202. You're moving up 3 spots. Is the difference between that? No, I'm taking Puka in the 109 there. You get the higher pick, and you get the wide receiver that's been producing as a wide receiver 1 as a rookie. How often does that happen? It doesn't really happen that often. So I think people are sleeping on Puka. I honestly think that he's a pretty good value right now. Appreciate you watching. Oscar gave out a bunch of gifts, and I'm going to skip over that. Let's see. What do you think you could get back in a trade for Jerome Ford and Christian Watson? Honestly, Christian Watson is valued pretty highly right now. So Christian Watson, some value equivalent people to Christian Watson right now in Dynasty. If you're doing it according to Keep Trade Cut, we don't love Keep Trade Cut, but again, it is indicative sometimes of guys who are overvalued, and Christian Watson's one of those guys in our opinion. And I cannot get this freaking thing to load. 201, Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams, Devontae Adams, Baker Mayfield.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. Yes, trade Christian Watson for Stephon Diggs. That's the answer to the question. Nathan, thank you for helping me out. Matthew says, got an inbox offer of the 109, 110 for Jordan Love. Are you getting Jordan Love? Because in a 12-team Superflex, I would easily take Jordan Love there. Already have Bryce Rogers and the 102, 105, and the 111. No. You're taking Jordan Love there. And that's your question. And yes, he would send Love is what he said. Nope, keeping Love there. Won the ship in my first year. How much minutes have I gone through? Won the chip in
2 minutes left.
Okay. Won the chip in the first year of the startup. I have Tyreek, Diggs, DJ Moore as my wide receiver core, with QJ being my best depth behind them. Nice. Not trading Diggs, but would you entertain moving Tyreek for youth? I would not. I would go to win it next year, and I would keep Tyreek. He's going to be elite again. Easy B says PPR Superflex Mahomes, Kyron, Monty, Debo, Moore, Olave, Achane, Herbert Fields, Baker, Zeke, Brian Robinson, Hawkinson. Anything come to mind? First thing comes to mind is I really like that team. I think you got a lot of insulated value. In terms of guys you're selling or buying there, I don't see any hard sells. I like holding most of those guys. Easy B, I think you got a good team. It's not just me being a cop-out. I would honestly be holding tight there. Thugger1 says, I was offered the 202 for Javonte. It sounds like I should snap that up. Yeah, you should. Alex says, what do you guys do if your fellow managers have bad value for players? Oh, man, we are experts at this one. Some owners wanted the 104 for Mike Evans or 105. It's a 10-team Superflex start 9. And he says, WTF. WTF is right. There's nothing you can do. Try to educate them. It doesn't hardly ever work. We played with the biggest idiots of all time, like the first year we played with some of our original podcast guys. So we know how you feel. Liam says, I know, Nate, you answered this already. I was curious what Avery thought. Yeah, I mean, and again, my opinion is going to go a lot longer or a lot further than Nathan's will.
In half the time.
Right. Yeah. LJ says, should I send Ayuk in the third for the 105? Yeah, you should. I'd take the 105 over Ayuk right now. He said, Easy B says he wouldn't. I would take the 105 because you're getting one of Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors. To me, that's easy. S. Zin Simmon. Hopefully I said that right. You've got a 1 QB IDP start 15. Ignore the defense. Gladly. I have Lamar, Cousins, Zappy, Trask, Taylor, Dylan, Chris Rodriguez, Bigsby, Zamir White, Jefferson, JSN, Flowers, Holland, McBride, and Ferguson. Thoughts? I think you're going to – he's to start 15. Man, I mean, that's a deep league, but I think you're going to need a little bit more serviceable depth. I would move off of Flowers and try to get a proven veteran. I would see if you can down tier from McBride to Hawkinson plus or whatever. That's 5 straight minutes of
this was like 20 seconds bonus.
You got some bonus content there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm exhausted. Guys, we appreciate you. Thanks for dropping in tonight. Have a good weekend. We will see you soon. Peace out.